Hey guys, this is part 2 for how to make your first quilt without using a pattern. My quilt is finally finished, and a lot of you guys wanted to know more about batting and backing, so I am here to deliver. So the first step is choosing your batting and choosing your backing. So for batting, there's a lot of different types. I would personally stay away from anything like polyester, especially if you're making a quilt and you want it to be very crinkly. I would stay away from polyfill like this, and I would go for something that is at least mostly cotton. So for mine, I haven't washed it yet, but for mine, I did an 80-20 batting. I actually found it at Hobby Lobby. It was the Hobbs heirloom batting. It's a pretty good price and it's still mostly cotton, so that's what I ended up using for my quilt. But if you want to do 100% cotton, which I would recommend, this one's really good. I've used this one before, not in a quilt but for other projects, and I know it's great. So this is also a good option for batting. For backing, you can literally get whatever you want. I've seen people do minky, I've seen people do flannel. I like to do cotton because I get hot, so I don't need any of that fuzzy stuff. But I just chose fabric, a quilting cotton fabric that kind of matched my front pieces, and I went with that. So free reign. So the most important thing with both your backing and your batting is you need to make sure that it's bigger on all four sides, and that is whether or not you're quilting it yourself or you're taking it to a long armor. Also, disclaimer, this advice is for if you are quilting it on your own machine, on your domestic machine, or if you're getting it long armed. If you are hand quilting your quilt, I don't really know. In that case, you might not need to make it bigger, so don't listen to me. Do further research because I'm not gonna help. The reason that you want to have your batting and your backing bigger is because when you quilt it, or when you have it quilted, it's going to shift a little bit, your quilt top is, and you need to make sure you or the person long arming your quilt has room for your quilt top to shift without, losing its backing and its batting. If you're quilting it yourself on your own domestic machine, you can probably get away with like 2 or 3 inches. I think would probably be fine, enough allowance there. If you're taking it to a long armor, check with who's gonna quilt your quilt for you. But most of them are fine with like 4 to 5 inches. That's perfectly fine. I know some people are good with like 3. Everyone that I've talked to who does long arming, when I was like talking to people about it, they said 4 to 5 inches. So that is what I'm going to share with you guys. Finding a long armor, that might be harder than the whole quilt. Thankfully, where I live, there is a few like quilt shops and long arming places in the Nashville area. The place that's local to me that I took it to, they told me that it was going to take a month